Hai, aku Chandra Intan dan selamat datang di versi terbaru dari Vampire Podcast, yaitu Building Your Empire.
Yeah, you can come and join us too.
Did you know that? Fun fact.
So I have no idea.
So, kalau untuk major yang andalannya Regents. So, iya, di university kamu di Regents itu yang paling bagus apa aja sih majornya?
To be honest, they have a really they have a wide variety of majors, right? Tapi kayaknya mereka bisnisnya juga bagus, bidang komunikasinya juga bagus. Makanya aku juga ambil media and communications kan, and I feel like that major is also good for me in my workflow here. Ada relasinya lah, ya kan? Jadi ya belajar banyak juga sih tentang the media industry and everything.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Ada jalur apa aja sih kalau kita mau daftar ke universitas kamu?
Jalur apa aja? Sebenarnya sih tergantung sekolahnya juga ya. Kalau misalnya kalian sekolah di sekolah internasional atau misalnya udah ngikutin program IB atau SAT, sebenarnya dibantuin juga sama sekolahnya step by step procedure on how to apply, what you should do. Semua itu dibantuin sama sekolahnya. Jadi ada program kayak 2 tahun terakhir di mana kita tuh get ready untuk submit our applications dan gimana caranya. If you guys decide to take another way of learning, contohnya kayak kalian mau community college or foundation dulu, misalnya nilai kalian nggak cukup, kalian juga bisa ngambil jalur itu. Ataupun misalnya kalian sebenarnya sih sekolah di luar negeri itu possible ya, even if kalian tuh nggak selesai sekolah, tapi ada you know the independent schools yang ngebantuin.
Iya. Yang kayak paket A.
Iya, itu tuh bisa banget, dan kalian juga pasti nanti dikasih tahu sekolah mana yang bakal accept itu. You know what I mean? Ya. Yeah. Jalur-jalurnya banyak, it's possible. Kalian kalau misalnya today you wanna decide kalian mau sekolah di luar negeri tapi nilai kalian nggak cukup, don't worry. Kalian bisa ikut course ini, nanti paketnya tuh nanti udah ada isinya, ada qualificationsnya buat kalian untuk mempersiapkan kalian untuk sekolah di luar negeri. Jadi kalian yang punya kesempatan untuk sekolah di luar negeri, mending kalian just go, because if you can and if you have the will to, why not, right?
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's gonna be the best years of your life because you're gonna come back here and you're gonna learn so much from the people that you met there. Dan kalian juga bisa share gitu all the values that kalian dapetin when you were abroad gitu. Kalian bisa share ke teman-teman kalian, ke orang tua kalian, dan kalian juga bisa slowly shift their way of thinking for the better gitu.
Nah, masih nyambung nih sama yang tadi kamu bilang. So we want to know, kalau misalnya kita kan suka ada orang-orang yang bilang culture shock ya.
Iya.
Gitu. Jadi mungkin kita di Indonesia punya certain culture, kita punya mindset yang berbeda dengan negara lain, itu pasti lah, ya pasti. Nah, what do you think your top 3 mindset yang harus kita persiapkan nih sebelum kita tuh berangkat ke luar negeri untuk belajar?
Orang luar negeri tuh they're very open, right? They're very open and outspoken. Tapi buat orang yang seperti aku udah bisa menerimakan itu. Jadi, tapi ada banyak orang juga yang nggak siap menerima itu. Dan kedua, because they're very open and they're very outspoken, dan kotanya juga jauh lebih liberal. Again, ada banyak orang yang nggak bisa accept itu, just by cultural differences, as in the way people dress, how they drink and stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's something that's super normal there, and we just have to normalize that. You know what I mean? People think that when you go to university, you change as a person, as in dress changes, the way you speak changes, the way you do everything. It changes. Tapi sebenarnya sih it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing, because itu benar-benar ngematengin your personality. And if you're able to express yourself in that way, I think it's such a beautiful thing, because that means you're more comfortable with your mind, you're more comfortable with your body, you're just more secure with yourself. So it's not a bad thing, it's a really good thing. It's just, I know that some people might have it hard on their end to express themselves. Gimana ya, orang yang ke-influence tuh sebenarnya they're not influenced, they're just exploring. And kalau setelah 4 tahun mereka masih kayak gitu, berarti itu diri mereka emang kayak gitu gitu loh. Berarti diri mereka emang kayak gitu. Dan kalau misalnya apa ya, dalam kata ekspor tuh kita kan pasti ada banyak fasenya kan. Again, like I said, we know which one sticks with us and we know which one doesn't stick with us. Jadi menurut aku tuh penting banget we go through these phases to get to know ourselves better, and we come out stronger. Kita tahu karakter kita tuh gimana. Gitu loh. Kayak ntar kita balik ke Indonesia, okay, the way I dress doesn't change. That means this is who I am. Gitu. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's actually really good. Dan ya, satu hal juga yang menurut aku penting banget, dan ini juga salah satu pengalaman aku dari sekolah di luar juga ya.
Yeah.
We tend to menghargai orang lebih baik sih, karena again seperti yang kamu bilang gitu, ada banyak banget tipe orang di luar sana, dan kita juga harus bisa menghargai apapun yang mereka decide for themselves gitu. So yeah, let us live, because we gotta live, we only live once, right? So better maximize this lifetime to really live. So yeah, all right, so what is something that they don't tell you about studying abroad?
Something they don't tell you about studying abroad. Pasti ada masa-masanya kalian homesick dan kangen keluarga. Itu super wajar. Oh my god, sorry I'm laughing because I just heard King Louis. Gitu harus.
You just cannot ignore that.
I can't ignore that. Okay, back to the question. Like I said, ada masa-masanya dimana kalian tuh homesick dan kangen keluarga, dan kalian juga pasti kayak pengen banget dipulangin. Don't go home. Karena when you go home, you're gonna get the same treatment from your family. You're gonna get pampered, apa-apa mbak, itu ngapain? Mending you survive there, you learn how to be secure with what you have, learn to be secure with your surroundings, learn that you can find friendships there that can last so long, because you might be surprised with the people that you meet abroad. They can actually be your true friends, and they literally teach you the concept of family when your family is not close to you. Jadi banyak banget orang-orang di luar negeri dan teman-teman aku yang they are so far, tapi ketika aku di sini, aku tuh punya that feeling of like London's my home. You know what I mean? I think London is my home because also of the people there. And aku punya banyak temen yang tinggal di sana yang sampai sekarang masih di sana, yang aku kangen banget. It makes me feel like I have a place in London, because ketika aku ke London, aku ketemu sama mereka lagi, aku immediately ngerasa kalau I'm home. Ngerti gak sih? Yeah. So what they don't tell you about going to university, you're gonna make a lot of friends, you're also gonna lose so many friends. Itu kebuka tuh teman-teman beneran kamu, teman-teman yang just wanna take you for granted, kebuka semuanya. Karena again, all these different types of people, you never know if they wanna be in your life temporarily, or you don't know if they wanna be in your life for a purpose, atau mereka beneran sayang sama lo gitu. Like unconditional love, and pasti kalian juga bisa ngerasain itu. By the end of it, kalian juga pasti nggak punya teman banyak ya, tapi kalian punya temen yang solid. Ya, kalian punya 5-6 teman, udah cukup segitu doang, tapi kalian solid pertemanannya. You have a support hub, gitu. Ketika kamu sendiri, ketika kamu pengen cerita about anything, even if it's explicit, even if it's like something that you don't want to tell anyone, you will find friends that you can openly say anything to. Gitu. So yeah, you're gonna lose a lot of people, but then you're also gonna make friends with so many people. Like that's the truth about university, you know what I mean? And it's not always like a good ride in university. Ada juga masa-masanya kita pasti ngalamin depression, anxiety. All these things that comes with living alone gitu loh. Karena kita udah terlalu biasa sama the idea of everything being done for us. Pasti ada juga momen-momen dimana kita tuh kayak apa gue balik aja ya ke Indonesia, gue sedih banget, gue depresi banget, gue harus ngelakuin semuanya sendiri, gini sendiri buat apa. everything that you're doing is for you to be a strong person. Gimana caranya kalian punya karakter yang sangat kuat, gimana caranya kalian punya personality yang sangat kuat, gak gampang dibohongin orang, gak gampang dimanfaatin, exactly. Itu tuh semuanya kuncinya just by being strong and by being true to yourself. If you can survive this chapter of your life, then you can survive anything. So yeah.
Wow, that's very empowering. I can feel the energy. I love that. I love that from you. I fall for that.
Thank you.
So, what are the most valuable things that you learned from studying abroad?
From studying abroad. So many things. Honestly, I don't know where to start. Studying abroad has made me realize my capability. It's made me realize what I can and can't do. It's made me realize, like, how far I can push myself to adapt in certain situations. I've met so many good people, you know what I mean? I've met so many amazing people. I learned to work under pressure. I learned to survive different types of situations. I learned to survive and fight my own feelings. Kayak, again, being there made me so happy. Tapi ada masa-masanya juga di mana pasti masalah akan datang dan aku belajar untuk berdiri sendiri tanpa siapapun beside me. Of course I have my friends, tapi pada akhirnya kita sendiri, kita di kamar, kita sendiri, dan kita belajar untuk bangkit dan berdiri sendiri. So I love that about studying abroad, super valuable. Dan ada juga masa-masanya ketika aku lagi depresi, aku juga nggak bisa study, nggak bisa kerja, gara-gara my head is super cloudy. Aku overthink terus, aku anxious terus, aku jadi nggak bisa kerja, nilai aku jadi turun. Dan aku jadi belajar gimana caranya aku bisa survive term ini, gimana caranya aku bisa naikin nilai aku lagi. Aku harus effort ngomong sama guru, aku harus effort ngomong sama tutor aku, dan aku harus belajar untuk ngomong apa adanya sama mereka. Gimana nih, gue lagi ada di situasi ini. Mungkin malu ya buat seorang student untuk ngomong kayak gitu, tapi nggak bisa, kita harus belajar untuk cari solusi gitu. Kalau kita ada di situasi yang seperti itu, gimana caranya kita cari solusi supaya kita bisa berdiri lagi gitu. Like I said, kita nggak selalu di atas. Roda tuh terus berputar. Kadang-kadang kita ada di bawah, kadang-kadang kita ada di atas, dan we always have to be ready for it. You know what I mean?
Sure. Itu keren banget sih, karena memang sulit banget untuk kita tuh bisa breaking a lot of cycles, a lot of mindset, a lot of beliefs yang sebenarnya tuh nggak perlu gitu. Kayak udah saatnya kita tuh untuk meninggalkan belief tersebut, dan banyak banget orang yang again insecure, dia nggak percaya dengan diri sendiri. So I think being alone di tempat yang asing yang kita nggak ada siapa-siapa, that will really train us. Kayak mau nggak mau harus terlatih untuk bisa gue harus percaya sama diri gue sendiri, dan kita benar-benar percaya kalau kita bisa. So that is when your true power coming out. So I love that so much. Nah, apa sih yang kamu harapkan bisa ada di sistem pendidikan Indonesia saat ini? Dari berbagai sistem yang udah kamu pelajari di luar.
Orang-orang lebih peka terhadap yang namanya sexual harassment. Bukan cuma itu doang. Banyak hal yang aku belajar di luar negeri yang sampai sekarang tuh di Indonesia belum diterapkan. Dan salah satunya tuh itu. Gimana caranya kita bikin the community of women here itu tuh safe. We feel safe. Kadang-kadang kita tuh nggak bisa lari di public place without getting catcalled or even like, I don't know, you just don't feel safe. Like I don't feel safe getting into a cab at night because there's always reports of women getting raped in taxi. You know what I mean? And like, I don't think that we have a strong enough community to back our women up. And it's scary being a woman in Jakarta or in Indonesia where we have to constantly think about our safety in the place that we live in.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, menurut aku itu penting banget sih buat kita untuk mempunyai community di mana kita tuh saling support one another dan kita tuh bisa openly speak up about these things. And I know so many girls that are victims of these things, and they can't even speak up about it without having direct contact with
Yeah.
the people that harass them, and like belum juga itu banyak banget orang yang masih nganggep ini tuh sesuatu hal yang tabu, yang pasti ujung-ujungnya yang disalahin perempuannya bukan laki-lakinya, dan menurut aku tuh itu salah banget ya. Itu salah banget dan capek banget buat kita harus terus ngejelasin. Kadang tuh kita emang nggak punya, we have no choice but to accept it because this is just the place that the reality that we're living in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's super super sad. So one day I would want to be able to speak of this in the most neutral way possible, and like I hope that more and more people are gonna be comfortable in speaking about this, because I hope that one day there will be a support hub atau a new law that can protect us from this. You know what I mean?
Bener banget sih, karena memang when it comes to sexual harassment ya, pelecehan seksual di Indonesia, karena nggak banyak orang atau mungkin belum terlalu banyak orang yang membicarakan ini di masyarakat gitu sehari-hari. Kita bahkan nggak tahu kalau itu tuh sebenarnya sexual harassment gitu. Kita nggak tahu kalau itu sebenarnya pelecehan. Jadi yang mereka anggap itu bercanda gitu, itu normal, padahal enggak. Nah, kalau misalnya memang kalian sempat merasakan nggak nyaman dipercandain sesuatu, mungkin ada apa ya, that's when you have to talk to someone that you trust, that they will be able to yang bisa ngerti gitu kalau kondisi kamu tuh sedang down dan nggak makin malah disalahin segala macam. Sebenarnya Vampire sempat ada satu podcast juga episode with Never Okay Project before. Nah kita tuh ngomongin soal sexual harassment at the workplace, tapi jadi ya teman-teman bisa cek aja di situ. Di situ ada banyak banget tipsnya gimana caranya kalau misalnya kita ngelihat ada harassment. Kemudian kalau misalnya memang apa sih yang harus kita lakukan step by step kalau ternyata kita jadi victim, atau apa yang bisa kita lakukan as a society sebagai masyarakat gitu untuk bisa improving that. So I think ini penting banget dan benar banget. Menurut aku pun ini juga harus, menurut kita, I think we all agree sih kalau misalnya sexual harassment, lebih tepatnya pelecehan seksual ini harus dibawa ke sistem pendidikan gitu, karena pendidikan kembali lagi adalah fondasi dari peradaban. So
dan juga akan improve aksi dan reaksi kalian sebagai like opposite sex, you know what I mean?
Kita udah mulai ngelihat
progress dan improvement tentunya banyak banget orang yang udah mulai kenal nih yang namanya pelecehan seksual, udah mulai aware that we can't do this, we can't do that, we can do this, we can't do that. Jadi I'm grateful sih, banyak banget improvements, especially from the last year ya, dari tahun kemarin. Sekarang udah banyak banget orang yang lebih peka intinya sama hal-hal ini. Tapi I just wanna put it out there. Semoga kalian lebih aware lagi that we are actually living in. I feel like we're still living in a Black Mirror episode. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like a Black Mirror episode, though. I can't even go running outside without someone catcalling. I can't even go in a cab at night without thinking that I'm gonna get home safe. You know what I mean? Just stuff like that. Seharusnya ini tuh nggak ada di otak aku, ngerti nggak sih? I should be going home at any time of the night and thinking I'm just gonna get home. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dan again, ini penting banget untuk masuk di sistem pendidikan. Apa yang mau kamu katakan kepada teman-teman kita di luar sana, terutama teman-teman yang masih muda yang mau belajar di luar negeri?
Menurut aku buat kalian yang mau venture off to your university studies, I think you guys should do it because it's a really good opportunity for you to explore what it feels like to be outside of your hometown, untuk ketemu orang-orang yang berbeda, yang eventually will shift your way of thinking, and kalian juga bakal banyak belajar dari orang-orang ini. Mau orang itu baik maupun jahat, kalian juga pasti bakal banyak belajar dari orang-orang ini. Dan just by learning all these topics at school, this is what I mean, like education is so inspiring. Not a lot of people feel this, but I know that kadang tuh kalau misalnya kita mau belajar tuh kita bawaannya malas banget, tapi ketika kalian pulang ke Indonesia dan kalian gak belajar, dan kalian ketemu orang-orang yang mungkin kalian gak satu suara, kalian gak satu visi dan misi, kalian bisa ngajarin mereka sesuatu yang mereka tuh gak punya knowledge of. And that's why I think education is so inspiring. Karena kita dengan belajar hal-hal ini, kita belajar juga banyak norms, dan kita banyak belajar juga hal-hal yang kita dulu tuh gak belajar di sini. Dan kita juga bisa ngajarin orang-orang yang mungkin belum terlalu paham soal topik itu. So this is why I think education is so inspiring. While you should go do it because it's so amazing. Bukan cuman the experience you get from studying in university, but also like the subjects that you get to study, and like the people that you get to meet when you're at school, and like the teachers that you get to learn from. Menurut aku tuh, the whole package itu seru banget deh.
You'll get a lot of perspectives and wisdom and experiences. So let's go.
Let's go! I support you guys. Woo! All the aspiring university students, I support you guys going to university.
Definitely. Jadi kita tahu kalau kamu pernah ada statement ya bahwa kamu mau merubah beauty standard yang kita tuh harus bangga terhadap diri kita sendiri. Terutama Indonesia very diverse, kita beda-beda banget gitu. Tapi masih ada kayak everything whitening. So yeah, what is it? How do you see it?
To be honest, like kita tuh orang Indonesia, kita harus bangga banget sama kulit eksotis kita, karena ketika ke luar negeri semua orang tuh coba untuk mereka berjam-jam di bawah matahari cuman buat achieve that skin tone, sementara kita tuh we're blessed with such amazing skin. Dan aku tuh nggak tahu kenapa ya, I don't understand why Indonesia itu selalu pro whitening. Menurut aku itu salah banget, karena I think a lot of people don't realize that so many people try so hard to achieve the exoticness, including myself. Kayak aku tuh gila cepet banget ya putihnya, makanya dikit-dikit ke Bali. Like I'm jealous with people with exotic skin. Like I really don't like the fact that people have to promote whitening all the time. Karena pertama itu juga nggak terlalu sehat ya. Kadang-kadang they go to doctors with putih ini itu, dan they have to go through so much just to achieve that. And itu juga health benefits-nya gak bagus buat mereka. So why don't we just embrace it? Embrace our true self. Like be happy that you're Indonesian and you're all beautiful. Like you guys need to realize that. Menurut aku whitening tuh gak banget ya.
Okay.
Maksudnya kayak the concept of like promoting whitening itself, like it just teaches people to be insecure about your skin color, about where you come from, your roots, your cultural your cultural roots, your heritage. Orang-orang tuh jadi mempertanyakan diri mereka, kenapa sih gue kulitnya warnanya ini? Aduh, gue harus ngapain ya biar kulit gue putih? Sebenarnya there's nothing wrong with them, gitu loh. There's nothing wrong with them. Orang-orang tuh jadi kurang percaya diri. Dan mereka jadi bingung, jadi konsepnya tuh jadi the concept of being your true self, jadi it's gone, and I don't like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They live with this idea in their heads that they have to look a certain way, they have to be a certain way. Sebenarnya mereka nggak lihat kalau mereka tuh udah sempurna, gitu.
Yes,
gitu.
That's really right.
Iya.
Karena kembali lagi seperti yang kamu tadi bilang, standar yang tadi dibuat sama masyarakat itu societal construction, itu memang dibuat gitu sama masyarakat. Again, sayangnya ada itu tujuannya beda-beda ya. Mereka tuh membuat sebuah konstruksi bahwa kita tuh sebenarnya harus ngikutin standar ini loh untuk jadi cantik. Padahal kayak sebenarnya itu bukan Tuhan yang ngomong kayak gitu. So Tuhan bilang kamu kulit kamu kuning, katakanlah kulit kamu matang, kulit kamu coklat tua, well that's what God says.
Yeah, sometimes even they stereotype you, like they stereotype you with the way you look. Kayak misalnya peran antagonis harus kayak gini, harus kayak gini, harus kayak gini, harus kayak gini. Protagonis harus kayak gini. One of the criteria is you need to have white skin, you need to have black hair and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just a typical goody two shoe look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't like that.
Hopefully we're gonna see that like gone. Hopefully. So ini juga berarti sebuah kritik untuk dunia perfilman ya. That's I love that. I love this girl. We love this girl. So, kamu ada pengalaman pribadi nggak sih bahwa kayak why, because we feel like this resonates so much from you.
Yes.
Gitu. You're like very passionate talking about this issue. Kamu pernah ada ini nggak sih sebenarnya pengalaman pribadi yang membuat kamu tuh kayak, oh my god, this has to change?
Yang mana?
Yang soal beauty standards.
Pengalaman pribadi sih banyak ya. Maksudnya kayak people look at me and they think that because of the sharpness of my face, the color of my hair, the way my eyebrows are angled, that aku tuh lebih cocok jadi antagonis. Ngerti gak sih?
Okay.
Sebenarnya sih enggak ya. Maksudnya kayak, why would you have to dictate my capability just by the way I look?
True.
You know what I mean?
Oh my god, that's mind blowing.
Yeah.
That's mind blowing.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Ooh, okay, another critique for the filming industry.
Yeah.
But yeah, whew. So we have reached our end of our podcast.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh
This
my
has
God.
been such an amazing time.
Thank you so much. We learned a lot dan aku juga yakin bahwa teman-teman di rumah juga udah belajar banyak banget dari Val. So yeah, I think it was very heartwarming.
Thank
It
you.
is also very empowering
Thank you.
and very insightful as well. Aku yakin teman-teman juga udah banyak catatannya. So yeah, thank you so much again, Valerie, for
Thank
being
you.
here. Dan
Thank you, Intan, for inviting me. Thank you, Fempire. Shout out to all the Fempresses out there. I hope you enjoyed this podcast.
thank you. So yeah, untuk teman-teman terima kasih banyak yang udah nonton dari awal sampai akhir, udah dengerin kita dari awal sampai akhir. Jangan lupa subscribe YouTube channel kita dan juga follow Spotify kita di Vampire_ID biar kalian gak ketinggalan ya konten-konten terbaru kita. So ya, aku Chandra Intan.
I'm Valerie Thomas.
Kita pamit undur diri. Sampai jumpa lagi, Fempress. Bye. Iya.
Jadi kan tahu misalnya ngigo gitu juga pasti I know what I'm saying.
Oh, wait for you actually.
This is for me.
Oh my god. A whole new